Let's get started with first news. Josh Hokett has sent a message directly to Cyril Gane, and he's making it clear that he's ready for a heavyweight showdown. Recently, we covered Hokett taking shots at Tom Aspinall before calling for a fight with Gane. Now, he's taking things a step further by targeting Gane directly on X. Hokett recently claimed that the UFC should strip Aspinall of the heavyweight title, which would potentially open the door for Hokett and Gane to fight for the vacant championship. Since then, Hokett posted a message saying Gane should be excited to fight him because it would be only the third time in his career that fans actually tune in to see a press conference he's involved in. He also joked that Gane might even get cheered for the first time in his career. Hokett then made his position clear, saying, "UFC, I'm ready if Gane is." But Hokett didn't stop there. He also took shots at his fellow heavyweights for not fighting often enough. He said he's ready to fight today and was prepared to return just 2 weeks after his White House fight. Hokett pointed out that heavyweights don't even have to cut weight, arguing that they should be the most active division on the entire UFC roster. You might not be a fan of Hokett's trash talk, especially if you don't enjoy his style of content, but you have to admit, this is a smart strategy. If Aspinall remains on the sidelines, the UFC could potentially look toward Hokett as Gane's next opponent, especially if enough fans start demanding the matchup. Hokett is clearly trying to keep his name in the conversation, and he's making sure everyone knows that he's ready to fight whenever the UFC calls. Move on to another news. Dana White has continued to criticize Ian Garry over his approach toward Islam Makhachev during UFC 330, and he's making it clear that he strongly disagrees with how Garry handled the final round. While speaking to the media, Dana doubled down on his comments, explaining that Garry may never get another opportunity like that again. According to Dana, when a fighter spends their entire career working toward a championship opportunity, every single second of the fight should be treated as a chance to win the belt. Dana explained that he wasn't saying Garry needed to go out there and simply annihilate Islam. Instead, his issue was with what happened during the 5th round. After putting together a strong performance, Garry chose to hug Islam, shake his hand, and show him respect, while there were still valuable seconds left on the clock. Dana believes that was a huge mistake. He pointed out that Garry might never get another opportunity to fight Islam again, especially considering Islam could eventually go down as one of the greatest fighters of all time. From Dana's perspective, Garry had 5 minutes in the final round to potentially change the outcome of the fight, and he shouldn't have wasted any of that time. Dana basically said that when you're fighting for a UFC championship, you have to treat every second like it could be the most important moment of your career. Even if you respect your opponent and appreciate what they've accomplished, there is a time and place for that. In the middle of a championship fight, especially in the final round, Dana believes the priority should be winning the belt. His criticism comes from the belief that championship opportunities are extremely difficult to earn, and once you finally get one, you have to take advantage of every possible second. For Dana, Garry's decision to embrace Islam before the final bell represented a missed opportunity that could potentially haunt him for the rest of his career. Move on to another news. We have a breaking update involving Jiri Prochazka, and it looks like the rumors surrounding his potential fight with Paulo Costa at UFC 332 may have been a little premature. Over the past few days, there has been growing speculation that Prochazka could take on Costa at UFC 332 for an interim title. The rumors started gaining momentum after Costa appeared to hint at the matchup himself. Costa posted a picture of himself on X with the caption, "It's written," which immediately got fans talking. Many people interpreted the post as a sign that his next fight had already been decided and that Prochazka would be standing across from him. However, Prochazka has now stepped in to shut down those rumors. In a new post on Instagram, Jiri explained that he is currently enjoying some time with family and friends before getting back into his preparation. He also made it very clear that fans shouldn't believe everything they see online. Most importantly, Prochazka confirmed that the fight with Costa is not officially confirmed yet. Jiri wrote that the fight is still being worked on, meaning negotiations or other details are apparently still being finalized before anything can become official. And while the matchup isn't confirmed, Prochaska's message does suggest that there is at least some discussion happening behind the scenes. He also revealed that he wants his next training camp to be extremely thorough. Rather than rushing into another fight, Jiri wants to make sure his preparation is done properly, breaking everything down and building his game from the roots. That could be especially important considering the level of opponent Costa would represent. Costa is one of the most dangerous power punchers in the division, while Prochaska brings an unpredictable striking style and plenty of experience in high-level fights. If this matchup does become official, it would be a very interesting clash of styles, and the potential interim title angle would make it even more significant. For now, though, fans should not treat the fight as a done deal. Costa's post may have created plenty of excitement, but Prochaska's latest statement makes it clear that there are still things to work out. So, while the fight appears to be under discussion, nothing is official just yet. Expect more fight news soon once everything is finalized and the UFC is ready to make the announcement. Move on to another news. Dana White has reacted to Anthony Hernandez's tough loss to Gregory Rodriguez, and despite the result, Dana believes Hernandez earned a ton of respect for the heart he showed inside the octagon. Hernandez entered the fight looking to get his career back on track. Before his previous loss to Sean Strickland, Hernandez had put together an impressive 8-fight winning streak, establishing himself as a dangerous and highly active middleweight. The matchup with Rodriguez was supposed to be his bounce-back fight, giving him an opportunity to get back into the win column and rebuild his momentum. Unfortunately for Hernandez, things didn't go according to plan. Rodriguez was able to get his hand raised, leaving Hernandez with his second consecutive defeat. That makes this a particularly difficult moment for Hernandez, considering how much momentum he had built before the setbacks. However, Dana White wasn't focused entirely on the result. Instead, Dana highlighted the incredible amount of heart Hernandez displayed throughout the fight, especially considering the damage he suffered to his leg. Dana explained that Hernandez's leg was badly compromised, and under normal circumstances, he believes the fight could have been stopped much earlier. According to Dana, most fighters probably wouldn't have been able to continue fighting effectively after suffering that kind of damage. But Hernandez refused to give up. The hometown crowd appeared to play a major role in keeping him going. With Hernandez fighting in his home state and in front of his hometown supporters, the energy inside the arena helped push him through some extremely difficult moments. Dana believes that even though Hernandez didn't get the victory, performances like this can still have a major impact on how fans and fellow fighters view you. He explained that fighting in front of your hometown comes with a unique kind of pressure, but it can also create unforgettable moments. Hernandez may have walked away without the win, but Dana believes he gained something equally valuable: respect. That kind of toughness can mean a lot for a fighter's reputation, especially when everyone watching sees just how badly you were hurt and how determined you were to keep fighting. So, while Hernandez now has to deal with a 2-fight losing streak, Dana White clearly believes his performance showed the kind of warrior mentality that fans can appreciate. The loss may have hurt his record, but the heart he showed in his hometown earned him plenty of respect. Move on to another news. Jorge Masvidal has once again made his feelings very clear, this time going after veteran referee Herb Dean and disagreeing with Joe Rogan's praise of the longtime official. Masvidal unleashed a strong rant about Dean, criticizing what he believes are wildly inconsistent performances inside the octagon. According to Masvidal, Dean has made questionable decisions in multiple fights, including stopping bouts far too early in some situations while allowing fighters to absorb unnecessary damage in others. Masvidal also pointed to situations where he believes obvious fouls were missed during crucial moments, including incidents involving hair pulling. His criticism comes shortly after Joe Rogan praised Herb Dean as the gold standard of MMA refereeing. Masvidal clearly doesn't agree with that assessment. In fact, he said he would gladly sit down with Rogan and have a serious debate about why Dean shouldn't be placed on such a high pedestal. Masvidal explained that he has no personal problem with Herb Dean outside of fighting. However, when Dean is acting as a referee, Masvidal believes there are plenty of reasons to question his performances. He even brought up his own fights as examples, saying fans should go back and watch them to see what he considers questionable officiating. Masvidal specifically criticized Dean for having a reputation for stopping fights either crazy early or crazy late. According to Gamebred, both situations can be dangerous. A referee who stops a fight too early can potentially take away a fighter's opportunity to recover or continue competing. But allowing a fight to continue for too long can also expose someone to unnecessary punishment. Masvidal said that inconsistency is one of the things he dislikes most about Dean's refereeing. He also mentioned seeing moments where he believes Dean appeared nervous or hesitant, further adding to his concerns about the veteran referee. But Masvidal didn't stop there. He also provided a major update on his own fighting future. Masvidal confirmed that he is currently talking with the UFC about a potential return, but he's only interested if the promotion can give him a massive fight against a major name. That immediately casts doubt on recent rumors connecting him to Daniel Rodriguez. Masvidal reportedly dismissed those rumors as fake news and made it clear that he's not interested in returning for just any matchup. After stepping away from competition, Gamebred wants his comeback to be a true blockbuster, meaning the opponent and the stakes need to be big enough to make the return worthwhile. For now, Masvidal remains highly critical of Herb Dean while keeping the door open for a major UFC comeback. Move on to another news. RDR made a massive statement in his return to the light heavyweight division, absolutely running through Roman Dolidze and securing a brutal first-round finish at UFC Sacramento. After making the move up to 205 pounds, RDR appears to be following the same path as fighters like Paulo Costa and Robert Whittaker, leaving behind the brutal weight cuts at 185 pounds and looking for a fresh start in a heavier division. And judging by his debut, the move couldn't have gone much better. RDR looked powerful, composed, and dangerous from the opening moments, eventually getting the first-round finish and announcing himself as a serious threat at light heavyweight. However, despite his dominant performance, RDR has no interest in immediately running things back with one particular former opponent. When asked about potentially facing Whittaker again at 205 pounds, RDR was surprisingly honest about his feelings. He admitted that he hopes the UFC doesn't offer him that rematch anytime soon. The reason is simple. RDR still remembers just how incredibly fast Whittaker was during their first fight. Even though RDR ultimately won that matchup by split decision, he explained that Whittaker's speed, particularly his 1-2 combination, was one of the biggest things that surprised him. RDR admitted that the fight took a lot out of him and forced him to dig extremely deep to get his hand raised. Because of that, he would be perfectly happy avoiding Whittaker for a while, even though both fighters are now competing in the same division. RDR also opened up about something he believes played a major role in his struggles at middleweight: the brutal weight cuts. According to RDR, cutting down to 185 pounds was simply too demanding on his body. He explained that fighters can potentially handle those extreme cuts once or twice a year, maybe even 3 times. But doing it more frequently can become extremely difficult. RDR believes repeated weight cuts can seriously affect the body, including hormonal levels and overall physical condition. Now that he's competing at 205 pounds, RDR seems determined to avoid putting his body through that kind of punishment. His first-round victory over Dolidze suggests the move up could be exactly what he needed. And if he continues performing like this, RDR could quickly become one of the most interesting names in the UFC's light heavyweight division. Move on to another news. Bisping is non-impressed with the newly announced matchup between Arman and Mauricio Ruffi, and he explained why he believes the fight doesn't make much sense for one of the lightweight division's top contenders. According to Bisping, Benoit Saint-Denis was able to handle Ruffi with relative ease in their previous matchup, and considering Arman is a significantly stronger grappler than Saint-Denis, Bisping believes the matchup could be a major mismatch stylistically. While the fight with Ruffi is officially booked, Daniel Cormier recently revealed that it was never the original plan. According to DC, Arman had personally told him that his next fight was supposed to be a 5-round rematch against former lightweight champion Charles Oliveira. Unfortunately, that matchup fell apart after Oliveira was forced to withdraw following the passing of his close friend and longtime teammate, Alan Nascimento. With Oliveira out, the UFC had to quickly find a replacement to keep Arman on the card, which ultimately led to the booking against Ruffy. Bisping acknowledged that Ruffy is a dangerous fighter. He pointed to Ruffy's impressive performance against Michael Chandler, where the Brazilian completely dominated and secured a stoppage. However, he also reminded everyone of Ruffy's fight against Benoit Saint-Denis. Saint-Denis was able to ragdoll Ruffy around the octagon before eventually submitting him with a face crank in the second round. And if Saint-Denis can dominate Ruffy in the grappling department, Bisping believes Arman's superior wrestling could create even bigger problems. Bisping also touched on Ruffy's recent career, pointing out that it's been a somewhat bumpy ride. Ruffy previously made headlines for punching a fan while walking to the octagon, then later pulled out of a title fight at the last minute, forcing Renato Moicano to step in. In his most recent appearance, Ruffy was also involved in a bizarre incident with Dan Hooker after an accidental headbutt. Now, Ruffy faces perhaps his biggest challenge yet in Arman, especially considering Arman was originally preparing for a 5-round battle against a former champion.